A period of 12 months commencing on 1st April every year is called as assessment year. So I gave you the elaboration. So here we can see assessment year. Previous year is 2019-20. That means this year you work, you may earn salary, you may earn your business income, you may earn capital gains, or you may earn a gift. For all these things, you'll be paying the taxes in the assessment year. You'll be paying the taxes in the assessment year. So this is what the basic concept is all about. Now coming to section 4. Very important section of income tax, without which income tax cannot be levied in this country. First of all, tell me how taxes are levied in this country. How can a government collect the tax? In India, how can government collect the tax? Yes, my dear experts, please do tell me, how can government collect the tax in India? How do you think? Sir, we are new to using article 265. Very good. Article 265. What does article 265 says? No tax shall be levied without the help of a law. So 246, again you go and see, and 246 gives us the list of items with the help of which the tax can be levied. Under that, income tax is framed. Fine. Income tax is framed. You have made an income tax. You have brought into force. But to make it effective, so that the basic motive of income tax becomes fruitful, section 4 is important. Section 4 is very important. What does section 4 say? Section 4 says tax shall be charged at the rate prescribed for year by Annual Finance Act. So the lawmakers are very clear here. The lawmakers don't want to have a fixed rate of income tax, because lawmakers are very clear with the improvement of economic conditions, or with the prevailing economic conditions, the tax rates needs to be changed every year or maybe frequently. So for that purpose, in the standard document, that is in the Income Tax Act, nowhere they have mentioned a standard rate of income tax. They have given a reference to Annual Finance Act. They have given a reference to Annual Finance Act. This is allowable. When a law is constructed, this is allowable. If you go and check the General Clauses Act, there they say whenever reference is given, you have to go and refer to that specific act, and that is allowed. Framing of law, for the purpose of framing of law, that is allowed under General Clauses Act. So here they are referring something called as Annual Finance Act. Annual Finance Act is nothing but your budget speech. The budget speech which is introduced in the parliament, then later discussed. Once it gets the assent of president, it will be called as Finance Act for that year. Now tell me, for the financial year or for the previous year 2019-20, for the financial year 2019-20, which Finance Act is relevant? Which Finance Act is relevant? Yes, can you try to tell? Finance Act 2021 is relevant. Finance Act 2021 is relevant. No, you see, for the year 2019-20, or let us not take 2019-20, 2019-20 is already over. Let us take 2020-21. 2020-21. To avoid confusions, let me take 2020-21. Now, you are going to earn the income in the year 2020-21, where you are going to pay the tax in the year 2021-22. Now, at the time of earning income itself, you should plan your income so that the tax liability will be reduced, or your tax planning should be there. So for that purpose, the budget speech is introduced in February 20. Feb 20, the budget speech will be declared. So Annual Finance Act 2020 is applicable for financial year 2020-21. For the assessment year 2021-22, the Finance Act which was declared in the year 2020 is relevant. Budget speech and ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. See, ಮೂರು ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಮೂರು ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್, ಎನಿ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಗೆ ಮೂರು ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಯಾವುದೆಲ್ಲ? ಒಂದು ಬಜೆಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಬಜೆಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ a financial year start ಆಗುವ ಮುಂಚೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. So normally they have decided, now it is standardly decided that in the month of February they are going to do this. So before the start of financial year 2020-21 starts in April 2020. Before that, so February 2020 they will declare the budget, that is Annual Finance Act. Once Annual Finance Act is declared, the same things are going to be implemented in April 2020 to March 2021. For the income earned in the year 2020-21, you are going to pay the tax in the year 2021-22. So for the purpose of assessment year 21-22, for the purpose of assessment year 21-22, budget speech which was done in the year 2020 is relevant. Budget speech which was done in the year 2020 is relevant because government should give in advance. Because people have to plan their taxes, how much tax they have to pay, what are the benefits available, what are the savings method available. For all this purpose, people have to think and plan. So that is important. So why I am telling this is because these are not the things which will be asked sillily in the examination. Hige keltara sir, hage keltara? No, they won't ask. If you are writing CLAT and all, they may ask. Of course, CLAT ge baruvagalla general awareness alli definitely they will ask these type of questions. More than that, tomorrow you are going to practice taxation. At that time, you should know which is the relevant acts for us, which are the relevant acts and which are the relevant years for us. For that purpose, this basic understanding is important. Illa beda sir, nan tax practice madudilla, no problem. Nimmade swanta income tax galannu file madlikadru ee basic understanding beku. So budget speech first ge agtade. Budget speech aada nanತರ ನಿಮ್ಮ previous year ಬರ್ತದೆ. Previous year ಬಂದಾದ ನಂತರ assessment year ಬರ್ತದೆ. So these are the steps in the income tax. So ನಾವು ಯಾಕೆ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್ ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೇವೆ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಗೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ, what are the benefits available to us, what are the deductions available, what are the new schemes that government is going to introduce. This unique thing normally happens in income tax. For GST this is not so important. For income tax this is very important because every changes in the income tax is introduced in the form of budget only. Major amendments for Income Tax Act is introduced in the Finance Act only. So section 4, what does it say? It empowers two things. Section 4 empowers two things. What? One, it gives the power to charge the tax. Now how to charge the tax? It brings in something called as Annual Finance Act. So Annual Finance Act and Income Tax Act are merged with the help of section 4. With the help of section 4. The charge is on every person specified under section 2 subsection 31. So section 4 says not an individual, not only an individual, not only a partnership firm, not only a company, not only a trust, not only a body of individual, not only an artificial person, not only a company, whosoever is called as person under section 2 subsection 31, for everybody this charge of income tax is applicable. That means government can collect the tax from any of these persons. So I hope you remember the definition of persons which we covered the other day. We understood that person is not just an individual. Person includes individual, HUF, company, firms, association of persons, body of individuals, local bodies, government and everything, lot of things. Yes. So the charge is on every person. The charge is on every person. On what, sir? Next question. Of course, see, three things. One, government said there will be a tax. Okay. For tax, you understood that the tax rates set in the Finance Act ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಾಯ್ತು. ಸರಿ ಸರ್, ಯಾರು ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಸರ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್? They said persons. Okay sir, happy sir. On what they have to pay the tax, sir? ಯಾವ್ದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು ಸರ್? Total income. They have to pay the tax on total income. So the other day we discussed something called as real income, taxable income. For the purpose of income tax, taxable income is important. Taxable income is nothing, your total income. You're going to pay the tax on your total income. On this total income, the tax rate will be applied and this person is going to pay the tax. A person's total income will be subject to tax and this tax will be paid. That is what it says. Tax is chargeable on total income. Okay, sir. On which total income, sir? This year's or previous years or next year's? Which years? Come on. Earned during the previous year. That is why assessment year, I said you're going to pay the tax in the assessment year, because section 4 subsection 3 says tax is chargeable on total income earned during the previous year. So if your previous year is 2020-21, you are going to pay the tax in the year 2021-22. So for this year, you are going, now you are going, if you are paying the tax, that means you have earned the income in the previous year 2019-20. Okay, sir. Sir, there are some situations where tax is charged in the same year itself. Some exceptions, you know, you are law students, so whenever it is law, there will be exception. For almost for every law there is exception. For every rule that is made in the law there is exception. Exceptions are because some of the unique, all cases are not similar. There are unique cases. For that purpose, to address those uniqueness, of course there will be something called as exceptions. So exception to the rule, income of previous year will be taxed in the assessment year. Exception to this rule, that means the new rule is same year's income will be subject to tax in the same year under certain circumstances. ನೀವು ಈ ವರ್ಷ ಅರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಇನ್ಕಮಿಗೆ ಇದೇ ವರ್ಷ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಬೀಳ್ತದೆ ಕೆಲವು ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಯಾವುದು ಸರ್? ಫಾರಿನಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುವಂತ ಶಿಪ್, ಇಫ್ ಎ ಶಿಪ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಲೀವ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಹಾರ್ಬರ್, ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಡಾಕ್ ಇಂದ ಒಂದು ಶಿಪ್ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುದಾದ್ರೆ ಆ ಶಿಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅರ್ನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಅಸೆಸ್ಡ್ ಟು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಇಯರ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಆ ಶಿಪ್ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಯಾದ್ರೂ ಹೋಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಅಟ್ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ನೆಟ್ ನೊಳಗೆ ತರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇಯರ್ ಸೇಮ್. ಓಕೆ ಸರ್. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ದ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್ಲಿ, ಸರ್ ನಾನು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್ಲಿ, ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ನಾನು ಈ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ತಿರ್ಗಿಸ ನೋಡುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸೇ ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, ಯು ನೀಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇವನ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್, ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬ್ ಯು, ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ಯು ಪೇ ದ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಗೋ, because you are going to close the business. You are not going to talk anything about business anymore, so we are also not going to talk. You pay the tax and go. Same year, same tax. Or if income tax authorities get a doubt that a person is going to escape from India permanently with no intention to return back, even in that situation, the income which he has earned will be subject to tax in the same year. There are many more cases, but these simple cases, if you keep in mind, that is sufficient. So these examples are very important, because you have to keep in mind in all other cases previous year income is subject to tax in the assessment year. Only under certain circumstances, ಕೆಲವು ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅದೇ ವರ್ಷದ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅದೇ ವರ್ಷ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ತೀರಿ, ಅದೇ ವರ್ಷದ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಗೆ ಅದೇ ವರ್ಷ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ತೀರಿ. So that is what subsection 3 says. What does section 4 subsection 4 say? Tax shall be levied in accordance with and subject to various provisions contained in this act. Sir, first subsection igu fourth subsection igu in difference. What is the difference for subsection 1 and subsection 4? Subsection 1 is saying about the tax rate. Subsection 4 is speaking about how to compute the taxable income. To compute the taxable income, you have to give importance to all the provisions of this act, all the provisions of Income Tax Act. So tell me whether it is clear. Section 4, is it clear for you? Nodlike sanna section, sub only up to subsection 4 is there, but the depth of the section is very much important, because this is the charging section. Hege nimma mobile alli charge illadidre mobile work agudilvo, section 4 illadidre Income Tax Act work agudilla. If there is no section 4, no Income Tax Act, because income tax cannot be collected at all. Section 4 is giving the power. charging section. Like this, for every head of income, there is charging section again. For salary, charging section is there. For business income, charge this one is there. For different things, there will be charging section. This is the main mother charging section of income tax. Tell me yes, only Sushruti is telling yes. What about others? Artha agidya? Please tell me yes if you have understood the concept. Artha agidre yes heli, please. Shivraj is telling yes, yes, okay, great. So, on the concept bantu, there is one concept that has come, that is total income. How to compute total income? How to arrive at total income? Just see here, we have listed the steps in computation of taxable income and tax liability. Steps involved in computation. This is what we are going to learn in income tax, part 1. This is what we are going to learn in income tax part 1, and this covers around 75% of your income tax act. So what does it say? First one, the very first step in computation of income is not computation of income. Income ಎಷ್ಟಂತ ನೋಡೋದಲ್ಲ, ಅವನ residential status ಅನ್ನು ನೋಡಬೇಕು. Sir, residential status means it has nothing to do with citizenship. Residential status has nothing to do with your citizenship. Whether you are an Indian, whether you are a foreigner, no matter. For income tax purpose, residential status as said in the act is important for us. For that purpose, there are rules. How to determine the residential status of a person? There are rules. What is residential status, sir? Residential status, based on the rules, you are going to categorize a person as, I repeat, a person as whether he is resident or not resident. If he is resident, whether he is ordinary resident or not ordinary resident. For a foreigner, if an income is, for a non-resident, if an income is generated in India, it is taxable. If an income is generated in other country, it is not taxable. I'm just giving a brief. This is not 100% pin to pin topic. I'm just giving a brief idea for you. What is residential status? Residential status, you are going to determine whether the person is resident in India, non-resident. If he is resident, whether he is ordinary resident or not ordinary resident. Our income tax act discussion starts with residential status, understanding the residential status. Your practical question, whatever they ask in the last part and all, normally it is based on residential status. So residential status is very important area when it comes to income tax, because that is the base, that is where the income tax starts. A person's income tax. So tomorrow SSC comes to you. If you are practicing tax laws tomorrow, or if for any other professionals who are practicing the tax laws, an SSC comes. First thing you have to understand is whether he is resident or not resident. For resident, different provisions. For non-resident, different provisions. Under resident, whether he is ordinary resident or not ordinary resident. Ordinary or not ordinary means whether he is staying in India for longer period of time, or whether he is not staying in India for longer period of time. Again, that difference will come. So you have to determine the residential status. Once residential status is determined, he will earn income from different sources. We saw the list of income, elaborate list, 20 to 23 items were there in the list of income. Under that, he is going to earn income in different categories. You have to categorize them for application of tax laws. So for that purpose, entire income sources are divided into 5 major heads in income tax. Which are the 5 major heads, sir? Salaries. Whatever is earned in the contract of employment is called as salary. Salary includes a lot of things, allowances, perquisites, everything is included in salary. So if you are in terms of employment with someone, employment contract aliddukondu enadru earn marta idre, that is called as salary. So provisions related to salary will be listed under that income. Next one, income from house property. Income from house property. ನಿಮಗೆ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನು ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ರೆಂಟಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಹೌಸ್, ಲೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೌಸ್, ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಎ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ಕಮರ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, but it is considered under income from house property. Next one, some people are doing business, they earn in the form of business income. So profits or gains from business or profession. This is what you are going to learn in income tax. How to compute under these heads. What are the deductions available? What are the benefits available? That is what you are going to learn under income tax. Next one is capital gains. When you sell the shares, when you sell the property, when you sell the land, when you sell the building, when you sell your vehicles, should you pay the tax on that or you need not pay the tax? That is what is decided under capital gains. Sir, I don't have any income under this category. I have in the form of bank interest, sir. I have in the form of lottery, sir. I have in the form of gift, sir. I have some other forms of income, sir. Different sources of income, sir. I am an MP, sir. Member of Parliament. I earn salary, sir. But your income tax act says that is not called as salary, sir. So all these things are categorized under something called as income under other heads, income from other sources. If nothing goes right, you have to go for the extreme part, that is income from other sources. If nothing comes under these categories, salary, income from house property, profits or gains from business or profession, capital gains, then everything will be considered under income from other sources. Then everything will be considered under income from other sources. Okay, you categorized all those things. Once you categorized, next, you are going to compute the income, sir. What is computation? How you are going to compute the income? That is what we have to see. While computing the income, there are different steps. For example, I am giving just an example for you. If you are earning salary, government says, okay, you earn the salary. Now for your travel and for the travel purpose and medical allowance purpose, we will give 40,000 straight away deduction for you. That means if your income is 5 lakh rupees, you take 40,000 rupees. On that, you need not pay the tax. So this is listed under these provisions. With the help of that, you are going to compute the tax. With the help of that, you are going to compute the tax. That is what happens in computation of income under each head. So you decide the residential status, then you decide the heads of income, then you are going to compute in each head. Okay. After that, clubbing of income of spouses and minor children. See, some people, they know how to save the tax. They divert their income to their children, their spouse in law. Now, what income tax says is, if they are not earning, how are they getting money? If they are getting money, then that money will be taxed in your hands. So that is called as a clubbing provision, which is also you are going to learn. So clubbing provisions will come. After that, whenever you do business and all, normally there will be something called as business losses. Whenever there is a capital gain, there is also a chance for capital losses. So government says, okay, if you are suffering some loss, we will give you the benefit of carrying forward the losses or setting off the losses. That means you can use that loss to save the income from some of the other sources, or you can take forward the income for the loss for longer period, and you can make use of it. So for that purpose, we will check whether set off and carry forward is available. Once all these things are done, you might have saved some money, you might have done some savings, you might have done some investments. For that purpose, government will give something called as deductions. Then you are going to arrive at total income figure. You are going to arrive at total income figure. This is how you have to come to total income. So that is why I said application of tax rate. Tax compute ಮಾಡೋದು ಸುಲಭ. ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು ಅದು ಅರ್ಧ ಗಂಟೆ ಕೆಲಸ. ಆನ್ಯುವಲ್ ಫಿನಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ನೋಡುದು, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಶೆಡ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಎನೆಕ್ಸ್ಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ರೇಟ್ ಏನಂತ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು, ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ರೇಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಯಾವುದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕುದು, ಅದರ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟೇಷನ್ ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. This is what is important for you. Being law students, understanding these things are very important for you. This is what computation of total income is very important for us. Once you compute the total income, you're going to compute the tax liability, you're going to compute the cess on that, then you're going to adjust it with the TDS, then you're going to adjust it with advance taxes if any paid. Finally, you're going to get the tax liability which you have to pay to the government. Don't worry about anything. We have just given a brief introduction. Skeleton ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಾಡಿ ನಾವು ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Finally, it will be a fine structure which is very much familiar, which will be very familiar to you, which will be very convenient to you. We have just seen a skeleton. Whatever I have shown here is the skeleton of how taxable income is computed. Step by step, step by step, step by step. Once you understand the provisions, you are going to enjoy the process. You are going to understand the tax laws. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನು ಇಂಪ್ರೂವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. At this level, at your LLB level, it is very simple. Brief introduction of every concept is given here, including assessment part. The other part, this covers 65%. The balance 35% is listed in something called as assessment. So this is what is all about your basic skeleton structure of income tax. Tell me yes if you are clear with this. If you have any doubts, please do raise.